Hey, welcome to Wonderful Colors. In the last episode, we talked about lenses with my friend Colin over here. And in this episode, we're talking about camera lens filters. We're going to talk about what they're used for, why they're great for your cameras, what you could do with them, and what you could achieve with them. I know it's all the same thing. I just kept repeating, it's all whatever. We're moving on. Again, joining with me here today is my friend Colin. How's it going, Colin?
I'm doing great, Bargov. I brought some filters, a lens cloth, and an unreasonable amount of excitement.
Perfect. So let's start with the basics. For folks listening who might be new to this, filters are the thin pieces of glass or plastic that screw on top of your camera lens. They can protect your camera lens, cut out glare, or create visual effects.
Exactly. Think of them like sunglasses for your camera, but with superpowers.
Understandable. Again, I might mess this up, but yeah, we are gonna talk about UV lenses. One of my favorites. Let's move on. Let's kick it off with the UV filter. It's used to block ultralight on the film cameras, but now what do you think it's used for?
Well, it's mostly used for lens protection these days. A UV filter won't change your digital photo much, but it might save your lens from dust, scratches, or a face-first tumble onto gravel. Ask me how I know.
Oof, been there. Okay, let's talk about polarizing filters, one of my personal favorites. What do you think about polarizing filters?
Man, polarizers are magic. They cut glare and reflections off shiny surfaces like water, glass, or wet leaves. They also deepen blue skies and make clouds pop. Every landscape photographer should own one, in my opinion.
Understandable. Like said before, I was thinking of like the time when I went to Coney Island. This was like back in 2008, dating back when I came back to US from completing my elementary school. Not even completing, I moved at second grade back to America, but this is a time when my parents actually took me there for the first time, and I still remember taking out the Fuji film, and this camera had a built-in camera lens filter with a lens that wouldn't come off, and that camera lens had a polarizing filter, and it was really good because at that time I still remember taking photos out in the dark at like 6 or 7 p.m. because at that point it just starts getting dark, if you know what I'm saying. And around that time it really brought out the contrast, which made the photos really beautiful. Again, we're going to be moving on this time. So ever take a photo of a lake and think, why can't I see the rock underwater like I could in real life? Polarized instantly. That's another thing. That's a line that I actually picked up from a magazine, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's so random.
Well, quick note, polarizers do reduce light, so you'll lose a couple stops. You're going to have to compensate for that in your settings.
Understandable, totally. Now, moving on, we got ND filters or neutral density filters. These are like dimmer switches for your lens.
Exactly. They reduce the amount of light entering your lens without changing the color. That lets you do stuff like shoot at wide apertures on bright days or create dreamy long exposures like silky waterfalls or streamy traffic lights.
And there are variable ND filters, same idea but adjustable, great for videographers or anyone who doesn't want to juggle 3 filters on the go.
Right, just twist to darken or lighten, no swapping needed, but beware cheap ones, they can cause that weird X-shaped pattern if not made well.
Understandable. Next up, graduating ND filters. These are ND filters with a gradient dark on one side, clear on the other side, super handy for high contrast scenes.
Right, like sunsets or mountain ranges, when the sky is super bright and the land is in shadow, you slide the dark part over the sky and boom, balanced exposure.
I love it. Now color filters, aren't common anymore in the digital age, but they used to be big in the black and white photography days.
Yeah, a red filter would make skies darker and clouds dramatic. A green filter brought out skin tones. These days we do a lot of that in post-processing, but some film shooters still swear by them.
And don't forget the fun ones. Star filters, soft focus filters, infrared filters, great for creative effects or artistic vibes.
Totally. As a star filter turns any light source into a starburst. Soft focus adds a dreamy haze, perfect for portraits with vintage vibes.
So Colin, if someone's just getting started, what are the must-haves?
I'd say three things. I would say number one, the UV filter for protection. Number two, the circular polarizer for cutting reflections and enhancing skies. And number three, the ND filter, right, for creative control and bright light. And spend a little extra on quality. You know, cheap filters can mess with image sharpness or add unwanted color tints.
Solid advice, man. Solid advice. And remember, folks, filters are tools, not rules. Experiment. Try shooting the same scene with and without the filter and see how it transforms the mood.
Exactly. Photography is not just about capturing reality, it's about shaping it.
Boom. Mic drop. Mic drop. But not really. This mic wasn't really expensive. That's it for today. Today's episode of Wonderful Colors. Big thanks to Colin filtering the facts of us.
Always a pleasure. Catch you next time, hopefully with squirrels this time.
One can dream, and everyone listening, if you enjoyed this, drop us a rating, share it with your photo-loving friends, and follow us on Instagram, easyflicks at instagram.com. What's your Instagram again, my friend? Colin Berg?
Yeah, absolutely, Berg.
Yeah, Berg doo-doo. We're gonna move on. Until next time, keep your vision clear, your filters clean, and your creativity wide open. Catch you in the next episode, my friends. Back to Wonderful Colors, and see you next time.